Welcome back for some more Skyrim with Requiem. I'm outside of Avanchnzel to complete the Unfathomable Depths quest, which you can pick up on the Riften docks. The reward for it gives a bonus to tempering abilities and to dwarven armor and something else I don't recall exactly, but basically I want to start doing some Dwemer ruins to gather more dwarven smithing ingredients because, well, for one, I want to upgrade my crossbow. I've been on this iron crossbow for a long time, and even though I don't use it a lot, I'd like it to be more effective than it is currently. And for two, I want to have a large stream of dwarven daggers I can make and enchant, so that I don't have to be using Mehrune's razor on just random enemies.
It feels like we're being watched.
So I'm just going to try and clear through this Dwemer area, and I'm hoping that the dwarven spiders and stuff won't give me too much trouble, because I do have extremely poor magic resist, so I'll take a lot of damage from their lightning attacks. But if I'm smart with my lightning runes, I'll probably be okay. And I'm curious to find out if I can kill them in one hit with the rune or if it's going to take more than one. So I'm kind of progressing slowly here because I really don't want them to get close enough to hit me. And unfortunately, illusion's going to be pretty unhelpful for most of this, except maybe to use blur so I don't get killed by the dudes with crossbows. And I'm just going to pick up as much Dwemer crafting stuff as I can find, because I'll end up using it eventually, and if I get over encumbered, I'll just dump it out then. Okay, so far so good. It looks like I can't kill them 100% reliably with just one rune, but I think this is manageable. I'm going to have to proceed pretty slowly though. And yeah, I'm just going to take it all for now. I'll almost certainly end up having to dump some out. Alright. Something has spotted me, but I'm not sure where it is. But I'm just going to keep laying down runes as I walk so that I've got an escape path already ready. That is kind of a lot. And I'm going to swap around my gear a little bit. Get the Nightweaver's band on to make my destruction a little bit less costly, and since I don't anticipate using really any melee, there's not much downside to having the Necromancer's amulet on. I'm not sure. Maybe the thing I'm looking at is below me? Yikes, that does a lot of damage. So maybe the proper move here is to just rely on my invisibility. I'm going to put a healing aura on so that I'm getting some passive health regeneration before casting my invisibility spell. And I'm going to see if I can just sneak past a lot of this stuff. I do want to be killing off the Dwemer guys wherever possible because I want to loot all their gear or their crafting materials so I can later create gear. But yeah, stuff like that Dwemer spear is extremely dangerous to me. And I might be able to sneak up on it while invisible and then two-shot it with two runes cast at the same time. If it doesn't get killed instantly, it's going to probably kill me just as fast. Okay, now we've got to get our blur out. Okay, We dragged it back to our pre-existing traps, and the other guy is definitely below me, but I want to go explore and see. Since I could go either left or straight, I'm going to try straight first. And I think this is a spot I want to lay down a couple more runes, just in case I have to make a hasty retreat. And that would qualify as an occasion for a hasty retreat. So I've still got Blur up, which is hurting my regen, but it'll also prevent me from getting killed quite so fast. And I think I'll cast a Distraction Wolf and hope it'll go and fight this guy a little bit for me. I do have a Shock Enchanted Crossbow, but I'm not entirely confident that that's going to be effective. I think here I want to take off the Necromancer's Amulet and put on my Stamina Regen Amulet instead. Okay, that's that's not very good. And I guess my Blur wore off, and that's what happens. So this time I think I'll go left first. Yikes. Okay, well, Blur just saved me from an embarrassing death right there. That still hurts quite a bit, though. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty slow process, I can tell. Okay, so taking off the Necromancer's Amulet takes down my Blur. And that is kind of a lot. Now that my stamina's back, just Amulet back on. Yeah, this could be an extremely slow process. And maybe it's worth at least attempting to do an illusion spell on one of these guys, although I'm pretty pessimistic about it having any effect. Okay, that's probably the way out. I'm not sure what's on the balcony, but I guess I'll go look. Okay, so it looks like my original path that I was taking is the correct one, and I want to be going this way. So I know that there's a sphere up here, so I might as well lay down some lightning runes in advance because I know I'm going to need them. I suppose I could get a little bit deeper into destruction and try and have a way to fight them that way if I had some better shock spells, but at the moment I don't. So we're just going to keep pushing forward like this. And I know it's going to take more than 2 to kill this thing, so I need a chance to lay one down or have it run into at least one other rune before I'll have sufficient to kill it. Now we get back around the corner. that should be the number 3 rune, which will kill off our enemy here. And I think I'll just put on Blur, so that I don't pop around the corner and get instantly killed. And yeah, that's actually extremely effective. Getting hit twice and taking no damage, that's a pretty good feeling against a dwarven crossbow. But I wish it would come a little bit more further forward. I really wish these runes did a little bit better. I mean, they do a ton of damage. These things must just have a lot of hit points. Yeah, I don't think there's any significant gains to be made in changing my equipment. I will turn off Blur for now. Oh my gosh, that does so much damage. I'm pretty dead if it hits me again anyway, but let's just get back around this corner. So I wouldn't call this exactly going smoothly, but having taken only one random death to a crossbow is pretty good so far anyway. And as long as I'm being pretty conscious of where my enemies are, I think I'm alright. And the Warhound was actually very effective there. That was a nice surprise. Now we're getting to the point where we gotta start dumping some stuff. I can't see anything down that corridor. I'm just gonna see if I can find something here. And that's actually a pretty nice find. Getting a soul gem stealing or filling item is handy. And I can see that there's a spider up ahead. And I want it to be facing the other way before it spots me so that I don't get shocked by it, because I'm pretty sure that there's a potential to get one hit killed by that. Now I'm just going to try and draw it back into my traps. Let's get behind cover and cast a bolt. Might be too far away for it to aggro effectively onto this enemy, but Dwarven oil is nice because it's a component for making dwarven powder, which I'll need in order to break down all of this Dwemer stuff that I'm finding. And I think I can just keep following the same strategy here of not getting close. And as long as it's only one type of enemy at once, this is a lot more manageable. That appears to have woken up a second guy. Pretty happy to be picking up lots of dwarven oil, because in addition to the Dwarven Powder. I think they also make pretty good magic potions. Trying to conserve on my stamina potions wherever I can by just swapping into my regeneration necklace. Okay, this is worthy of a quick save, because if those two spears wake up, it's going to be a pretty tough battle for me.
No one seems to know. Perhaps the return of the Dwemer.
Especially if they wake up by surprise, I'm pretty dead. And yeah, I'm not going to have the carry weight to take those. Dwarven bolts, on the other hand, are a really nice find. I still don't have any perks in my ranged attacks, but if I do eventually take a perk there, the Dwarven bolts will make my crossbow a lot better. This hallway looks suspiciously like one where you'd find a trap, but I don't see any indications for it. Also, I took the stealth perk, the light-footed, so that I won't set off trap plates, in anticipation that otherwise those might kill me regularly through here. I think I'll go invisible in this spot and try and scout ahead so that I can prepare how I want to deal with these guys. Okay, I might not get that luxury. I suppose one perk of this is getting some easy level ups into my destruction, so I'll count my blessings there. And I don't know, I'm going to do a quick save and see if I can do a hibernation spray on this guy. I have a strong suspicion it's not going to work, but I won't know unless I actually attempt it. At least get on my blur so that I don't get killed quite as quickly. Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, that's that's a game changer if I can already start doing the hibernation spray nightmare combo. That's that's going to make this noticeably easier.
And yet none of us can pick a damn lock.
I was just so confident that that would not work. So here I think I'll take off blur and go with invisibility instead. And I think it is possible to have both going at the same time, but it kills my magicka regen so badly. I can sustain both, but I won't be doing much else. Huh, and I'm pleasantly surprised that the nightmare effect is actually working for me. I thought I would need to get like the level 90 perk into illusion, which I'm obviously not there yet, but this is working okay. So I probably still want to use runes to kill the spiders because they have an on-death lightning explosion, which I think has a pretty good chance of killing me. But that's going to make the spears a lot easier. Elven arrows, I guess I just kind of pick those up out of reflex, but I don't think they're actually all that helpful to me since I never intend to use a bow.
This place is huge.
And something has spotted me, but it's evidently a long ways away. This is very obviously a trapped room. I'm going to quick save first and then see if I can open it and then get clear. A little close. And this looks empty, so I'm just going to see if there's any useful loot. And that's some kind of a skill book. Maybe it was restoration, not sure. Getting pretty tight on what I can actually carry. Another ring of major illusion. If I hadn't already found one of those, that would be awesome. But as it is, just okay. I think I'll actually start using that now, seeing as I am having the ability to hibernation nightmare these guys. But I think this is another spot where I want invisibility up. There's too much stuff in here that can kill me in like one hit. This seems like a room where there should be some enemies hiding. So maybe I'll cast some runes right on this corner. Oh, and there's what I actually needed to be worried about. Now, as long as there's not another enemy further down the hallway from me, I should be fine. Just gonna check this for any interesting loot. These dungeons are a great way to find soul gems, which is a perk. And some gems. Let's go back to invisibility. It seems like the spear I ran into earlier saw through my invisibility pretty quickly. However, it does appear to help a lot against spiders. And looks like we've got to dump a little bit more stuff. And I can break an adept lock. And mostly just doing this to level my lockpicking a little bit further. I really want to be able to take another perk there so I can handle eventually expert locks. And eventually, very eventually, do master level locks so that I can get through Alfdand and the Tower of the Zark. And pretty light on the loot there, but that's fine. Okay, I can see a sphere over there, which I can potentially hibernate, but I think I want to get back in this corner a little bit. A little bit too close for comfort there. And here comes the spider to investigate. And I think that was just running out of magicka at the wrong time, so I couldn't lay down an extra rune. Happily, my obsessive quick saving is going to prevent that from being too much progress lost. Okay, now I need to make sure I've got enough magic in order to deal with the spider that's about to come around the corner. And just one more for good measure. Just shooting with a crossbow to aggro the spider. Can loot the sphere. And it seems like an extra perk into shock damage might make it so that I could be one-shotting those spiders, or at least a lot closer to it. And unclear still how necessary that actually is, though, because hibernation does apparently work. Necklace of Smithing, that's actually pretty handy to have. And the amulets are also nice because it'll give me some raw material to do enchanting on. And I think I'm going to lay down some extra runes here in case I need to make a hasty escape. I'll have some backup because runes are kind of slow to cast, so they're not very good if you get caught by surprise. Plus it'll give me a chance to regenerate my magic. And invisibility seems only moderately useful, but still pretty good.
I thought you said these things were sleeping.
You said they were sleeping. I said they were waking. It seems like you've been waiting for someone to try to take the place.
Whew, this is kind of it's kind of tense. I like that about the Dwemer ruins, that since they're really full of traps and these hard enemies, they make you be pretty careful, but I'm definitely having to proceed at a pretty slow pace here. So I can see a Centurion, 4 spiders. I really don't want to jump down there. So I guess I tried out hibernation. Let's see if enrage works. Well, yeah, not like that it doesn't. I need to improve my aim somewhat. That's what that's telling me. Yikes, that does a lot of damage. Maybe I can get a dog down there. Okay, there's evidently a way up over that direction, so let's set up a trap on this corner. And I really need my magicka to regenerate faster, so let's take down a potion. And I'll be able to kill at least one if they are willing to pop around that corner. But if I try and lure them in, I'm taking a pretty big risk of dying to their shock spells. Run. I think my dog can finish those off. Oh, there's 2 of them. Whew. Yeah, the spiders for, I think most characters, are one of the less threatening Dwemer, but at this moment they're feeling quite a bit more dangerous to me because my resistances are so poor. Their ranged attack, which is normally just annoying, is actually extremely dangerous, and I can't really just hibernate and nightmare them out, because if I get close enough to do that, their on-death explosion will, I think, most likely kill me. But I'm just going to come around and put another trap down on this ramp. Then hide behind a corner. Cast a Warhound. And the big question, on my mind at least, is are the Centurions going to wake up? Evidently the answer is no, and they do have some pretty great loot. And it looks like I may have to dump some other stuff, but that's fine because the things I'm picking up are a lot better. I don't think the gyros are particularly high priority. Okay, let's push forward. And it looks like I want to be going this general direction. I'm going to break this lock again for experience. Wow, that took a lot of lockpicks. Yeah, after completing this area, I may have to go and find myself some steel ingots to rebuild my stock of lockpicks. Wow, that's just plain out odd. 5 dwarven helmets of archery. Alright, well, that's interesting. Not particularly useful, but interesting. And might as well go invisible. On we go. So I can see our final quest marker. We're nearing the end here.
We are close now. Can you hear the lexicon calling out?
Sure. So we grab it and we get out, right?
Once we see the lexicon, we'll need to take it to its location. I know what to do.
I think I'll just lay down a couple of runes around this area. Yikes, that does a lot of damage. And I need to clear out of here so I don't get killed by the death explosion on that guy. We'll have a very nice stock of dwarven oil at the end of all this. And I think I'm just going to preemptively trap this corner so I've got an area I can get back around if I need to. Yeah. And again, I could be going for the hibernation spray ability on these guys apparently, but when you're freaking out and running away, sometimes that's just not the first thing to think of. I should probably hotkey that, since I'm going to be starting to use it more regularly. And big racks of dwarven armor and dwarven shields. I'm going to try my luck at this chest. Okay, that went pretty well. And yeah, we got a very nice stock of gems and amulets. Always welcome. And I guess I'm curious enough to loot those guys because the stuff they have is actually pretty important to me. Art of Dwarven Blacksmithing. I've already learned the perk, but that's still kind of useful. And I'll certainly take some Dwarven Metal Ingots. And if that's a crossbow, I'll be thrilled. Dwemer Crossbow of Scorching. Okay. That's a nice one. I think I'll drop my Iron Crossbow here. I think I'll drop those, drop those. I've actually got more Dwarven Bolts than I really need. And let's just find some way to get my carry weight down a little bit. I think I'll eat a soup, and I'm moving again. For a moment, anyway. The loot in these places is just so tempting. Okay, that's very definitely a trap. And that looks like a way to push me into the trap. And I think I want to trap this corner with some runes, so I've got an avenue of retreat. Oh god. Okay, change of plans. Let's go with the stealth option, because there's not a chance in hell I'm fighting 2 Dwemer Centurions. And let's just hope that their detection capabilities are not that great. I'm going to try and improve my chances by putting on whatever sneak gear I've got. Okay, well, 1 Dwemer Centurion. Am I curious enough to try and hibernation kill this? Alright, I'm just going to quick save and give it a shot. Wow, if that really works. Well, and now we get to learn why Illusion is sort of overpowered once you get a few perks into it. That's a little ridiculous. And now I can drop off the lexicon. Let's see what Ancient Knowledge does. Fortify smithing. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that gives a tempering bonus for all my smithing efforts. And that's Avanchnzel. I'm going to go back to my hideout, break down as much of this gear as I can, and then we'll be on to our next zone. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you'd like notifications as I post new content, and I'll see you in the next one.